Does someone in your life make you feel guilty for saying no? For having needs? For existing in a way that doesn't revolve around them? And every single time it happens, you end up apologizing, explaining yourself, shrinking, not because you did something wrong, but because they know exactly which button to press to make your nervous system believe you did. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on inside your body when that guilt lands, and give you a 3-step psychological shield to end it. If you've been told you're too sensitive, too selfish, or too much, this video was made for you. Let's start with what a guilt trip actually is, because most people have it wrong. A guilt trip isn't just someone expressing disappointment. It is a psychological operation. It is the deliberate manufacturer of obligation, using your own empathy as a weapon. Here's the mechanism. When someone you care about signals distress, your nervous system responds automatically. Attachment theory calls this co-regulation. Your body is literally wired to respond to the people you're bonded to. A skilled manipulator knows this, so they perform distress. Not always consciously, but strategically. The message beneath every guilt trip is always the same. Your needs cause my pain. Therefore, your needs are wrong. That is not a relationship dynamic. That is a control mechanism. And your nervous system cannot tell the difference between genuine distress and manufactured distress. It responds the same way to both. That is not weakness. That is biology. Now here's the part nobody talks about. Guilt trips don't work on everyone equally. They work most powerfully on people with the highest capacity for empathy. People who genuinely care about the emotional experience of others. People who were taught, usually in childhood, that their worth was contingent on managing other people's emotions. Experts call this the disease of the good people. The very qualities that make you loving, your sensitivity, your responsiveness, your desire to repair, become the targeting mechanism. A narcissist doesn't need to break you. They just need to aim at the part of you that was already trained to put other people's pain above your own boundaries. And here's the biological layer beneath that. When someone you care about expresses pain, your brain releases cortisol. Your body goes into a threat response. Not because you did something wrong, but because your nervous system interprets their emotional state as a threat to the bond. You don't feel guilty because you are guilty. You feel guilty because your nervous system is trying to repair a bond. That was never actually broken. That distinction changes everything. So here are the 3 steps, not 3 things to say to look clever. 3 psychological tools that interrupt the guilt mechanism at the neurological level. Step 1, name it before it names you. The moment you feel the guilt arriving, before you respond, before you explain, before you apologize, name what's happening internally, not out loud, in your own mind. This is manufactured obligation. My nervous system is responding to a signal. I am not required to act on that signal. Naming the mechanism interrupts the automatic response. It creates a gap between the stimulus and your reaction. That gap is where your agency lives. Step 2, Separate your emotion from their responsibility. Ask yourself one question. Did I actually cause any harm? Or did I simply fail to prioritize their preferences above my own needs? Those are not the same thing. But guilt trips are designed to make those two things feel identical. If you did not cause genuine harm, you are not responsible for managing their emotional response to your boundary. Read that again. You are not responsible for managing their emotional response to your boundary. Step 3, respond from values, not from anxiety. Most people respond to guilt trips from a place of anxiety, trying to make their discomfort stop as quickly as possible. That's exactly what the manipulator is counting on. Instead, pause, breathe, then respond from what you actually believe. Not, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, but I understand you're upset, but the answer is still no. Experts call this responding like water. Not hard, not aggressive, just immovable. That's your shield. Name it, separate it, respond from values. Here's what I want you to understand. Before you leave this video, the reason guilt trips work on you is not a flaw. It is evidence of your capacity to love. You were targeted because you care, because you feel, because you are a kind of person who takes other people's pain seriously. That is not something to eliminate. That is something to protect. You don't need to become cold to become free. You need to become clear. The work of healing from manipulation is not about building walls. It is about building discernment, learning to distinguish between genuine pain that deserves your compassion and manufactured pain that is designed to control you. That discernment is not cynicism. It is wisdom, and it is available to you. If this video gave you something, subscribe, because every week I break down exactly how psychological manipulation works and exactly what to do about it. You've spent long enough being confused by what was done to you. That ends here.